Hey guys, Jason here from Jason's Works. I just wanted to get another pro tip out to you. This is pro tip number 16, and this one is coming to you from Frank Solar. This guy, it's a flap sander. That's what the tip is. Yeah, Frank contacted me a long time ago, too long ago, and said, "Hey, I got this great technique for you." And he told me about it. It's like, that might work, I don't know. And he kept telling me about it, and then finally he sent it to me and kept bugging me about it and said, "You got to try it, you got to try it." So okay, I'll try it. And I tried it out, and it blew me away. My jaw dropped because I was having trouble getting a nice even finish on the inside, and couldn't really figure out a efficient, easy way of doing it. But Frank got it. So I'm going to show you two different ways that I'm doing it. Now this is what he sent me right here, and all it takes is a piece of sandpaper and this rod here, and that's it. That's all you need. You could actually just make this yourself. There's also funny story I might tell you later, but Rio Grande has the exact same tool here, amazingly cheap, inexpensive. And it'll fit on your drill press or cordless drill or flex shaft. This is specifically designed for a flex shaft. So I'll show you both ways with just a cordless drill, but also using the Rio Grande tool here with the flex shaft. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, this rod here, just a steel rod. Looks like it's about 11 inches long, a 1/4 inch wide, and the slot here, just using a hacksaw, looks like, is about 3/4 inch. I guess Frank used these in his old profession for years and years, and it's just the way to go. So now to make these the paper cutouts here. And this is 120 grit. I thought that was a little bit too much, but actually after using it, it's not bad. This is 180 grit. I'd say anywhere between 120 and 200. Kind of play around with it, see what you like. It'll depend too on how much you want to take off the ring as well. But so you take the paper here, fold it in half, and then cut that. And then you fold that in half, and cut that. Now you take your paper, you fold that in half so it's lengthwise, fold that in half. This kind of feels like origami, but it's not. I don't know how to do origami. So you fold that like so. So you fold that in half and then follow that crease. This is your open side here. Follow that center crease and fold that down like so. And then I like to flip it over and follow that fold there, that fold there. So now, what you do is you take your rod and you insert it right on that center crease, and then you take these, open it up like that, and then fold it in on itself, like so. And so what that creates is a cone shape, and when you put your ring on that you want to soften the inside of the edge here, especially on the reed side, right in here. I like to deburr that first with a deburring tool, and then come in with this and just do a final polish, not polish, but actually a grind on it, I guess you'd say. But what that does, it leaves a perfect bevel on it. I know Joshua James, he's amazing at getting that just right. I'm not quite sure the technique he uses, but he is flawless on the way he gets his edges nice and polished. But I found that this really helped me to get that perfect bevel on the inside. Now on the cut side of the ring, you got to be a bit more careful because it's a bit more flared out. So you can't go in too far, but as long as that cone stays nice and wide, you'll be fine. So let's use the drill here. I'll give you a quick demonstration. It's also important to make sure you don't have loose clothing or jewelry. Make sure you put a nice bevel on the tip of the rod here, so it's no sharp edges. And just be careful. You're operating with, rotating machinery. So here we go. Oh, need to bevel, cut this first with the deburring tool. I like to do this first just because it takes most of the meat off for you already, just so you don't have to sand as much, and you get to save the shavings. And it's always good to even save the shavings from this operation here. So here we go with this guy. So you can see there, it's just getting the outside bevel. And the faster you go, the better it works. So it's leaving just a really nice finish there on the edge. It does take a little practice. You gotta be careful and kind of get the feel for it. But it works. I can see a little bit of a mark here from the deburring tool, so I'm going to go a little bit more. And it is important that your rod is straight, nice and true. And you can also put this on the drill press, but I'd probably recommend a hand-operated deal. That way you can just let go of the power if you need to, in case something happens. So that's looking really nice there. So from there, I'll take the sanding blocks and start with a coarse grit and just use the corner, and then that'll take out the marks from the sandpaper. And then go to your medium grit, and then your fine grit. This guy right here. And then your final buffing. Now the buffing I wouldn't do until after I'm done doing the patina and all that stuff. But wow, that just looks phenomenal. I mean, just that, it just took, less than a minute to get just a perfect finish on that inside. That's just amazing. Thank you, Frank. Really made my rings turn out. It gives that real good finish look to it. So again, that's using the Frank Soller polishing, or I don't know, beveling technique, using a rod like this. I'm sure you can adjust it for the length or size or whatever. This is pretty long. I actually have two of them, but anyhow, that is that one there. So let's go to the Rio Grande ones. So when I was going to Rio Grande and making some rings for them, I showed them that, and they kind of giggled because well, I'm pulling out this drill and I'm making jewelry with this thing, so kind of weird. But they said that, oh yeah, we got a tool just like that fits in the flex shaft. I'm like, really? So I checked it out, and sure enough, it works phenomenal. And also you can make it's much more compact and smaller, especially when you use it with the flex shaft. Okay, so here is the tool from Rio Grande. You can see there it comes in a pack of 5 or 6, I think. It's super cheap, but really, really nice. These will fit in the drills as well, if you need to use that. But I would recommend, it's really nice to have the flex shaft, and I'll go through that here in a second. But for right now, I just wanted to go through how to get this thing set up with a smaller tool here. So okay, so now you take your quarter sheet of sandpaper and you want to fold that in half again, and then cut that in half. So now that's what, 1/16 of a piece of paper. You fold that in half, and then you cut that in half. So was that a 32nd? I can't remember. So now you're ready to rock and roll. So I'll fold that lengthwise here. Fold that in half to mark the center, and then fold from the center of the edge. So that's the open side here. Fold that down, go back the other way just to give it a good crease. Fold the other side down like so. Fold it the other way. Actually, let me draw with a marker what the creases look like. Okay, so from this piece of paper here, fold that in half. So we'll draw a line down the center. Alright. And then you fold that in half. So a line down the center there. And then you fold that, fold the corners over like so on both sides. So it looks like that. And then, those are your fold marks there, the black lines, pretty much like that. Then you place this on like so, open that end up, and tuck that in, side there, tuck that inside there, and there you go. Nice little cone shape. And that'll go, I mean, that will bevel from a dime size 2 ring out to a Silver Eagle size 25. I mean, just so phenomenal in how versatile it is. So really, really cool. So now I'll show you the flex shaft that I use. Okay, so there is the flex shaft, and you can see down here I've got a foot pedal that I can just operate with my foot, and then the different fittings that I have, different types of abrasive and polishing wheels, and a burr cutter there, and here is the actual mechanism there. I got the quick release, which is really, really nice to change out the different tools real quickly. Okay, and so to set it in, I just pop the handle open there, push it on in there, close it down, lock it in, get my foot pedal ready. And again, no loose clothing or jewelry, and just be very careful. But it's pretty simple. I found that if I get it going first and then insert it into the coin, I have better control. And then also, the faster it spins, the more centrifugal force it has, and it's more difficult to actually get it inside. So if I want to be careful and not get the inside of the ring, then I'll get it going pretty quick. So here we go. You can see there, I left it up pretty fast and pretty open, so it didn't get the very inside of the reed there. So I'm going to go a little bit further in, so it's more of a sharper cone rather than a wide cone at a faster speed or less force pushing it in. So I'm going to go less speed and more force to get it nice and a nice thin cone on it. That's looking good. Yeah, that is just beautiful. So now I'm going to do the other side while I'm here, and again I'm going to leave go faster and less force so the cone opens up, and just hit the very inside edge of that. That looks good there, and that's it. So now again, take the sanding blocks here and want to take out the marks from the sandpaper, and then go to, so that's the coarse side, and then there's a less coarse over here. So we'll go to that one. I gotta do the other side. A little bit lighter on this one though, and really watch to make sure you don't get the inside detail. And then the medium. It's looking nice. And then the fine. Oh yeah, that's just amazing. Thank you, Frank. That was so cool. And then the buffing side, the white side of this sanding block. And there we go. Just a perfect, beautiful finish. A nice even bevel, nice and soft. No sharp edges, and a mirror finish, and it was so fast, so beautiful. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed it. That was a great pro tip. I think it really helped me improve my rings, so thank you Frank again so much, and thank you Dean for getting me motivated to get out here and do a video. I need to do more. Yeah, I really wanted to share that with you guys. I'll put where you can get the Rio Grande little mandrel thing down below, or click it somewhere. But they're super inexpensive, and again, sandpaper, you just cut it up into little bits and make your cones, and you're ready to rock and roll. But practice with some clad coins first, kind of get the feel for it. But once you do, you'll really improve your rings, and also make them even more efficiently. So hope it helps. Let me know what you guys think, and make sure to check out the Etsy shop. Also have the tools available on Rio Grande. And that's it. Thank you much. Talk to you soon. Bye.